Hello, and welcome to The Art Will Not Be Changing, the Fugitive Poem Show. I am Christian DeMatteo, co-founder of Fugitive Poems, and music in our intro is done by C Notes, an incredible producer, beat maker, rapper. If you are looking for someone to put together some great music for you, like an opening theme song, or even more than that, that's his link tree right there. And hit him up, and you will have just a terrific collaboration. I am so excited. We got a guest tonight, someone that I'm meeting for the first time, but have been following for quite a while. But before we bring this guest on, we're going to bring up the great Mark Capitelli, senior editor of Fugitive Poems.
Hello.
Dun, dun.
Sorry. Hello. I was trying to match the energy.
I love it. How you doing tonight, Mark?
I'm doing all right. I'm having a slight medical event, but aside from that, I'm good.
Oh, good Lord. Are we gonna be with us?
All's well. Let's go. If I have to dip out for a moment, you'll know why.
Okay, they don't like collapse
but
over.
I need to talk to this guy because I am a fan, as you can see. Of it. Well, there's green on it. Sorry about that.
We can't really see. There you go.
Yeah. It's I guess something's up there. But loving the magic powder. What happened with this extreme close up here? Hold on.
I can make it a little further away. There we go.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you.
So
nobody needs to be that close to this month.
Before we bring in our guest, I do want to remind everyone and excite everyone about the fact that Dirty Living issue 3 is out, and a bunch of people have been getting it. They've got their subscriptions every 3 months. A new issue comes out. It's $2.99 an issue. But if you get it right now for $2.99, you'll get instant access to all 3 issues of Dirty Living. And this is a hell of a series. We got some absolutely hysterical, supernatural neo-noir. And it cracks me up and excites me and shocks me every time. If you go to the Fugitive Poems website, fugitivepoems.com, click home and scroll down, and here you'll see it, Dirty Living. And you can subscribe right here if you want to take a look at some of these amazing covers. Just terrific. And I don't know how he's been putting them together. They are magnificent, complicated webs of absolute action and absurdity. Ryan Santos is the artist, and his art is stupendous throughout every issue. It was a story of a drunken detective who happens to be the only not corrupt cop in a corrupt precinct in Boston. And he is trying to clean things up while being mentally dirty himself. And suddenly we have a new problem with the undead walking the earth. There is nothing that happens that's expected from issue to issue. Let me give you a little bit of a taste of some of the images here. If you like people dancing with corpses, this is the book for you. Dirty Living is finally. Dirty Living is only $2.99 every issue. Instant access on your computer, only at fugitivepoems.com. I am very excited about it, and it's been a big hit so far. So get your copy.
Let me explain this for a minute. Well, let me ask you. They go on the website. They pay the $2.99. What do they get?
Instantly, right now, issues 1, 2, and 3.
Guys, $3. That's $1 an issue. That's unbelievable. Wait, no, my math is terrible. That was $2.99.
No, you're right.
Your math is terrible. Why the hell are you giving them all this stuff for $3? Guys, you're insane. Get on there. I know. Get on there.
It's because I can't figure out how to
premium underground comics, man. $3.99. That you spend more on coffee. What are you thinking? It's on your phone. I know. You can access it any time. Come, people. Get out there. Get on there. Go somewhere. No, go to fugitivepoems.com. Get your free comics. My God. 3 comics for $3 is a no-brainer, folks.
And
my piece.
And the next issue comes out October 6th. They're coming out every 3 months, and they are cliffhangers, and they are awesome. Speaking of a lot of bang for your buck, though, it is time to bring on our guest, the great and powerful Jeff Schiller.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Good.
How
First
are
of
you,
all,
Jeff?
I got to shout out that King of the Hill shirt. I love it.
Yeah, hell yeah, got the guys on here. Actually, Hank's where's he at? He's right behind me right here. On his little lawnmower. Yeah.
Love that show.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm excited to check out next month with the new season, so that'll be fun.
I just heard that was happening, and I am so psyched.
Yeah,
Really?
That's perfect. You haven't been waiting for it. That's the best way to have it. Yeah, just sneak up on you. I love when that happens.
Exactly. So Jeff is the creator of the series Magic Powder and the series The Elf with No Name. You've been doing this for a while, and you've had great success on Kickstarter, and there's a lot we want to talk to you about. So let's start off by asking you about, am I right that Magic Powder was the first series that you put out?
Yeah. The very first comic I ever put out was issue 1. It came out basically January 2022.
How does that happen? How does your first comic coming out be that good? like, what went into this, man?
I guess at that point I was 36 or so. So all those years of writing other crap and trying to make things happen, and then eventually that idea hits, and you're like, okay, this might work. And so far so good,
For those of you who don't know, by the way, Magic Powder is like Dungeons and Dragons meets Scarface. Was that a decent comparison there?
Yeah, that's perfect. Definitely.
Yeah,
usually I say, Breaking Bad, other, I'll switch which one with Dungeons and Dragons, but it's always D&D is pretty much the perfect setup,
I mean, you got the mafia, but it's dwarves.
Yeah, exactly.
And, fictional, strictly, and elf, and you got magic weapons. You got the whole bit, and it's all about drugs. It's about drug dealing gangsters who happen to be of these magic folks. Why? Because it's magic powder. Magic powder is the thing on the street. It's what everybody wants. It was just so satisfying, and it was such a fun little read there, and you should be very proud of it. And it is, by the way, the first thing I ever backed on Kickstarter.
That's amazing, Mark. Yeah, thank you, man. Because there's a few times where that'll happen, where I'll get lucky and someone will back, and you click on their name and it says first backed, and you're like, oh damn, okay. So now it's your responsibility to give them something good, so maybe they will come back and stuff like that. So I'm glad you did enjoy it, and yeah, man, that's great hype right there. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, like you said, it is about drugs and stuff like that, but even the drug itself is coming from fairies, so it's like fairy dust, and that's why it's called magic powder and stuff like that. So it's like everything comes from somewhere. So I also wanted it, not to have any human being characters. It's a big thing when you see like a Dungeons and Dragons show or a cartoon or whatever. It always feels like the main character is a fucking human, and I'm just like, that's not fantasy to me. You know what I mean? I want main characters that are not human characters. So there are no human characters in any of my stories, really, other than Public Defender, I guess, if you count that. But yeah, not Magic Powder, not in Elf with No Names, because I want to see what they relate to. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people said, the Minotaur is a big hit. A lot of people were like, oh, I love the Minotaur, and it's like, would they have felt that way if there was a human hit? So it's like I want to see which kind of creatures they're into more and stuff like that.
I think you were right, man. I think it would have been a distraction, and instead you get to play in this world and be as creative as you want. I'm looking in the chat here, and we got Luke Henderson. And I worked with Luke a little bit on. Man, do I really? Oh, I do have it. Okay. Look at this little book here that you cannot see. Sorry. It is Crit 2, folks. And in there is a little story from me about a deaf dwarf. And that is the focus of the story. It is a female dwarf. She's got her little beard and everything. And she is well, I guess it's a short story, so I can't tell you too much. But I said to myself, I want to do something centered on a character that's relatable enough, but something different. So I'm right where you're coming from, and
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
of course, Steve. And it's so much fun to try to take those human elements in this completely inhuman world. And as I said, I loved reading it too. So, thank you for that.
So Mark has brought up Dungeons and Dragons, and you joyfully, Jeff, jumped on that. How big of an excuse me, I can't speak. How big of an influence has that been on your creative process? Have you been playing for a long time, or where does Dungeons and Dragons fit in your sort of zeitgeist? There's the word.
I would say it came in later on, more so because, like, to me, what actually brought me in was Shadowrun, is the TTRPG, like the tabletop game that I got into. And even that, I didn't really even play the tabletop version so much. It was like, as a kid, Sega Channel had Shadowrun one time, which was like, a video game service where like monthly they change games and you could try them out. And so Shadowrun was one of those games, and I played it. And it was a bunch of orcs and cyberpunk settings and stuff like that, as opposed to mine, which is not cyberpunk, but it's basically very much inspired by Shadowrun, because it's a bunch of gangsters just popping off on each other. It's more about stealing like corporate secrets and stuff like that. A lot more punk type thing as opposed to drug dealing. But overall, it's like a huge inspiration on me. And then Dungeons and Dragons, I just knew it was becoming more of a hit. Like, you'd see all the people watching Critical Role or the community episodes and stuff like that. And it's like, I knew, it's something people relate to. So when I bring it up, they don't know what the fuck Shadowrun is. So I just say Dungeons and Dragons.
That makes sense. Okay. Now, you said earlier that you've been writing for a long time, and then suddenly something pops. What was it that popped about Magic Powder? What was the germinating idea?
I think, to me, it was just what popped in my mind, where it's like, what felt original about it was like, I was watching, a bunch of stuff. It was around COVID, lockdowns and all that. So we're just sitting around watching stuff. And essentially, I was watching, I think, Fargo season 4. And someone with like Jason Schwartzman and all those dudes. But it feels like there's too much going on. I wasn't really digging it. But one of his characters, like, it was a brother of his. He's in another show called Gomorrah in Italy. So my dad's like, you got to check that out. So I checked that out. And I was like, holy shit. So that was a huge inspiration. Seeing like basically projects on top of ancient Rome, and they were doing drug deals and stuff like that. It gave me that, that's where the fantasy idea. I was like, what if you took Lord of the Rings to that direction, you know what I mean? And that's kind of where that came from. And then also, it was also like, I thought all the cool gangster stories have kind of already been done, you know what I mean? Like, everybody did The Godfather, everybody did Reservoir Dogs, so it's like, what can I do that hasn't been done? And so it's like, if I create my own world with my own characters and their own powers and stuff like that, at least it'll be a little different, so I try to go that way with it. And yeah, you know what I mean? I can only tell so many stories about Vegas or New Jersey, you know what I mean? All the places I've lived and stuff like that have already been done too, so that sucks. So like, yeah, that too. So it's like, yeah, just basically I had to create my own shit, and that was it. But basically, like you were saying earlier before we started, the gender crossover kind of thing, I was just thinking, like, Game of Thrones just bombed, that season 8 was terrible. Everyone's sitting at home, they're like, I don't even want to rewatch this shit during COVID, it was so bad. So like, but it proved that like adults will watch like a dark fantasy show. And then I was like, Sopranos is over. Everyone loves Sopranos. Sopranos getting like it was like a resurgence kind of on YouTube. Everyone was watching the clips. They figured out it was a comedy. They didn't realize that, I don't think, at the time. So now everybody's like, loves the Sopranos. They're yearning for some new fantasy. You know what I mean? And I was like, all right, I got you guys. And so that's where Magic Powder comes in.
Where can people get it now?
You go to getmagicpowder.com. And that's, all my stuff's on there. You can just, there's digital and physical options. And then obviously every time I'm running a Kickstarter, it's always available as an add-on. It's always available, stuff like that. So yeah, there's, but yeah, I always try to have it available. And if you see me at a convention or just in the streets or at a bowling alley, just be like, hey, you want some comics?
You got that powder? You got that powder?
Yeah, exactly. You got that magic powder, bro. So yeah, definitely.
Well, big jacket with comics.
I'm sorry.
I was just saying, he hangs out with the big trench coat for comics and Magic Powder. And oh, hello, you got a backer.
I backed it so fast. And hi, well, hello, Hard Geek Mel, welcome. we've got my friend Claudio in the comments who called me a lousy businessman. He doesn't even know how right he is. And we got Luke Henderson, a tremendous creator, also in the comments. Thank you. And Hara Geek Mel, thank you. Welcome, guys. So Jeff, you just said anytime you run a Kickstarter, you can get magic powder. So I got some good news for people. You're running a Kickstarter.
Yes,
and let's show that. Let's get some people to see that. It is the 3rd issue of another series, The Elf with No Name, and here we have another genre bending concept. Can you tell us about The Elf with No Name?
So essentially, The Elf with No Name is my Western spinoff of Magic Powder. So it takes place in the same world. It's a different timeline, about a couple hundred to a few hundred years earlier. So you're not going to really see any crossover of characters, stuff like that. But what happens in The Elf with No Name will affect kind of why Magic Powder exists. Basically, you're going to see why there is a Magic Powder trade. You know what I mean? Before this starts, at this point, basically only elves are using fairy dust for magic. And then like you'll see, dwarves figured out when they lived in this crazy place that fairies lived that you can use it for other things. And now dragons are sending people to go collect the fairies, and there's a whole thing. So their bounty hunters are coming, and the elf is like trying to protect the fairies. That's basically what's going on here.
So I knew that it was connected, but I did not know it was tracing the history. Now, I think it's one of the coolest things when a writer comes up with a concept and then can figure out where it came from, the history, because nothing happens in a vacuum. Everything happens. Everything is dominoes, and everything comes from somewhere. The idea that you introduced, you're like, oh, I got this cool drug, and you don't just leave it there. You've got a couple of hundred years earlier. Tell me about the title. I believe I'm
you're savvy, yeah.
So tell me where you got the title from.
Essentially, Sergio Leone and The Elf with No Name is the man with no name, Clint Eastwood, that kind of thing, spaghetti western, stuff like that. So, but then everybody also like the Horse with No Name song. So like there's also that, so everyone's always like referencing that at me, so like there's always that, but actually, yeah, it's the man with no name. And it's like, I love westerns. Clint Eastwood's like, like the original western to me, like as a kid, was Tombstone, but my dad loved Clint and stuff like that. So he was always showing me Clint Eastwood movies. And then like, I don't know, he didn't really watch the spaghetti western so much. So that was kind of on me finding, Sergio Leone. But that was because, like Tarantino and him, he was showing you about that. So like it all linked together. But yeah, so eventually I was like, I need to do my own western before basically someone else does the same thing I'm doing as a western. You know what I mean? I felt like that could happen. So here it is. And then like, it really was like, I wanted to show basically how much power a character could get with magic powder, because he's in a land that's basically a desert of magic powder. Like the fairies have lived there so long that all the fairy dust has accumulated and become sand, and it's a desert now. It wasn't always a desert. It's just they lived there for 1,000 years. And so that's why it's that way now. And so all these people weren't even, it was too dangerous to even go there, but dwarves have like, rock hard skin kind of basically. So they figured out you can live there. Then other people started coming, and now that's where it's all evolving. So it's kind of like Deadwood, where you see like a bunch of people coming for the gold trade. This is going to be
Deadwood.
Yeah, it's got a very Deadwood inspiration. I love Deadwood a lot. Deadwood's possibly my favorite thing ever. Like as far as like writing goes, like I feel like that dialogue is the most violent dialogue I've ever heard.
And Ian McShane is practically a mythical dwarf. He's just...
yeah. It's funny you say that, because when you scroll down on the page, and you'll see a dwarf that looks like Ian McShane a little bit. It's way down in the story section. But yeah, so like Dwarfwood is where
beautiful, man.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I didn't do any art. I'm only the writer, so like all the artists and colorists are credited. Like right now, Jeff Fulsham is the guy who does the interior arts. He used to do the colors too, but we got Ezekiel Cataldo to do the colors this issue, because it makes Jeff's job a little easier. But this guy right here, this is our Swearingen like character, and also kind of our other characters based off of if you ever seen Samson and Carnival, he's kind of based on that kind of character.
Oh, love Carnival.
Yeah, another, because that's another thing.
Your HBO shows there.
Yeah, like I'm a big HBO fan, but also like growing up with Mortal Kombat, you've seen like if you just mash all your favorite things together, it'll be a hit. So I figured that's what you do, So
absolutely, I love it.
But yeah, so as far as the Deadwood things go, it's like the fairy dust rush. You know what I mean? They had the gold rush. We're doing that. You know.
Let me ask you the writer question here.
Okay.
So they say there are two kinds of writers: plotters and pantsers. People that plot everything out before they start writing, or me, a pantser who just writes a sentence and sees where the damn thing goes.
Mm-hmm.
For you to have come up with this concept and extrapolated it out so far, how what's your process? How do you write, and do you have like a similarian somewhere of everything?
Kind of, yeah. I can't reach it from here, but yeah. Essentially, I got like a folder with all the little dividers, and that's where it began. In my room where I was living when the COVID shutdowns or whatever. But yeah, basically, you know, it was like built a whole like Bible sort of thing, like for the story and stuff like that. And then yeah, I plotted a lot of it. Obviously, like I have, you know, arcs and arcs planned for Magic Powder and stuff like that. But a lot of it is also, you know, on the fly. Like I don't write an issue until basically another issue's done, so I can reread it all and see where I want it to go, or see maybe there's something I want to focus on that I wouldn't have focused on if it didn't exist already. Because when you work with an artist or you collaborate with these guys, they add things, and like maybe you like something you didn't know you liked. You know what I mean? Maybe there's a character that they was just in the background. You're like, I like this guy. He's a character now. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I don't put myself in any boxes or anything like that. But as far as it goes, like I basically know where everyone's going and when they're going to get there. What they're going to say, that'll change a little bit. That's more on the fly. Even sometimes I'll get a page and I'll be like, you know what? This doesn't read right, and I need to rewrite the script a little bit. But I've always made it to where like whatever they put as the bubbles and stuff like that, they don't need to add extra bubbles. Like I'll just tighten up the dialogue and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I try to, you know, I want you guys to get a good story. I don't want it to be like, oh, now Goku, he's not just from this planet, he's also from another planet, and he has Superman's history and all this other, like, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that to people. But at the same time, if I'm at issue 100 and that's what happens, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I've never been this far personally, so like,
May you be at issue 100.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Great letter of Kevin Lintz in the comments, who was apparently singing the horse with no name in his head. And Luke chimed in to tell us, I plot my serious stuff and pants my bullshit stuff. And I think that's probably a really good way to go about that. Luke also currently has a anthology, Revenge of the Flightless. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
That's a dope
is that correct? Luke, could you put it's a really cool anthology. I believe Claudio's in it as well, about penguins. Luke, could you put that in the chat, the link to that? Because I'd love for people to check that out.
And while you do, if you don't mind me elbowing in here, I'm on the website, and you suffer from Christian's disease. You've got $6 high quality books here. And I was blown away. I really was. I mean, guys, you got to go getmagicpowder.com and check out this stuff. The
only thing I will say, Mark, I don't want to interrupt here, but everything is a little bit cheaper on the Kickstarter. So like if you do want to get it, like I think it's like $5 as an add-on, stuff like that. Yeah, no, that's the thing. The sales are what matter. I already got the stock in my house. You know what I mean? I gotta get it out of here. You gotta, look, there's like right behind me, there's like bubble wrap and shit. Like, yo, this is I'm always, actually, you want to see something cool? This is the first time anyone will see this besides me. So this is the foil cover of Magic Powder Volume 2.
Oh, hold on. There we go. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Look at it. Yeah, so we just got this. I'm going to be sending them out tomorrow and over the weekend. And that's it. Like, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. So like, yeah, I'm just trying to get rid of everything. Like once you have it, and like the Kickstarter already paid for everything. So like the money, to me, it's nice and everything like that. But most importantly, I want guys like you, like Mark, where he's like, I read this, it's dope. You know what I mean? Like, or even like Mel, like Mel's always reading my books and stuff and like backing. It's like, because like comics, I don't know, there's not a lot of money in comics, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, we could charge $1 or $2 more, stuff like that, but like, is it gonna like pay my rent next month? Probably not. You know what I mean? So like right now what matters is just getting an audience, and that's it. Like, and then wanting to read my crap. Oh, that's the thing, everybody's broke, bro. Yeah, hell yeah. So yeah, money's tight.
I for one appreciate that, but guys, go to his website, get this stuff.
No,
Never
no,
mind
no
Kickstarter.
website
Give me
right
some
now.
more
No
ones.
website right now. Go
Yeah,
to the
Kickstarter first.
Yeah, go to
We want that
Kickstarter.
money on the Kickstarter.
Definitely.
Website
Yeah.
later. Right
Yeah.
now,
Good point. Good point.
Jeff said it's all cheaper on the Kickstarter right now. We've got, let me bring it back up. What did I see? 15 days left.
14 at the moment. Yeah.
14 days left
Mm.
on this. And here we go. You've got freaking 152 backers. That is awesome. That is just a tremendous number.
Yeah, it's awesome. Especially like you guys said, like nowadays it's getting harder and harder. And every time someone backs, I appreciate it. Like every time, and like a lot of these people that are backing, like out of the 152, I would say probably 140 are like people who've backed me before. So it's like, you see names and you're like, all right, they still got my back and they still, it's cool. And it's just like, it's hard. It is super hard. And, social media has basically taken a dive as far as like reach goes and stuff like that. So yeah, man, anytime I get up to like, cause like last issue Elf with No Name was probably like a little over a year ago now. It took a while to get going again. But we were at 262 backers. So if we could get up to there again, I'd be happy. Like the most I've ever gotten on a campaign was 355 for Magic Powder 5. And like Magic Powder gets over 300 for the most part. Like we got 299 on the last one. So yeah, I mean, I know we can do it. You know what I mean? I don't know if we're ever gonna, like every campaign's different. Every campaign you got to find readers new ways, stuff like that. I don't know why, you know what I mean? Like you'd wish everybody just kept coming back, by now I'd have like 600 backers, but that's not how it works. And so here we are just grinding again, but we'll get over 200. We'll probably make it to 100% funding and all that stuff. I'm not too worried about it. I've done enough of these. What is this? My 13th one. We've never not made it yet. So I'm pretty confident. People got my back out here. You guys got my back. Like everybody got, what I mean? Like in a world where most people don't have each other's backs, it's nice that people got me. So I can't complain. And yeah, thank you everybody.
We have such a great community here, man. Indie comic community like no other. No, and I was just about to point that out, Christian. Thank you. Mel's looking for swag.
Yeah. Bigfoot knows karate, baby. Yeah. I was gonna say that too. When you said the King of the Hill shirt, and like you were doing like the pregame thing, and I was thinking, I'm like, man, I gotta mention the Bigfoot knows karate shirt because that's dope too. And then you mentioned the King of the Hill shirt, and I didn't even mention it. I'm like, missed it. My bad.
Well, I mean, but that's such a cool thing when there's a T-shirt. I love wearing this shirt. Dan Price and Casey Allen, who put that beautiful, beautiful series together. I'm a fan, and I get to show off indie comic stuff. And I think that's part of having each other's backs is sharing it and telling other people about it, and telling them where they can get it. This is why I was so excited to have you on the show, because I've been following you for a while, and you're doing such incredible stuff, and you're generating fans like Horror Geek Mel, who wants a T-shirt. So you got to make that happen now.
Yeah, Mel. Well, I told her, because like Mel's a friend of mine, and she was telling me, I told her I have some Magic Powder shirts, but like it's like one of each kind, and I'm, usually have them just so I can wear it at a convention or something like that. But yeah, I mean, the shirt idea, like my buddy Chris is always telling me too, oh, I get shirt, but it's like, man, like I don't have money to make these shirts, so it's like it would have to be print on demand or something like that. So I'll figure it out eventually. But yeah, we'll get you guys some more merch. Like we just got keychains. We got the Magic Powder soda. Like if you see me at conventions, I got extra merch and stuff like that. Just so like some people that have all the Kickstarter stuff can get something else.
But, cool.
Talking about conventions, where are we going to see you?
I'll be at I just applied to go to LV Expo or Level Up Expo, whatever it's called. I also have Front Row Card Show next month in August at the Rio. And then I'll be at what's it called? Like some kind of anime expo in Vegas next month. Also, I'm so bad at this because it's a new one to me.
Sorry to put you on the spot there, but
no, that's good.
Guys, this area, look out!
Yeah, I should know these things. Oh, PixelCon, hello. Yeah, so I'll be at PixelCon next month also. So like that's a video game.
You're in the Vegas area.
Yeah, I'm in Vegas. All the conventions I've ever done are in Vegas. I have epilepsy, so I don't really drive, and it's like. I don't know how to really even move all these comics to a convention if you're not in town. So like, that's gotta be tricky. But I'll figure it out. I mean, I've met people that do come out of town and stuff. Like some people do it so many different ways. Like they'll ship it. Some people literally put a comic box in a giant bag and check it on an airplane. Like I've heard so many different things. And like, to me right now, like you guys said, as far as businessman and stuff like this, like I'm not making enough money to really do that kind of stuff. Even like I gotta get a regular job again too. Like, you know, the last year has been a little slow. But overall, doing conventions is fun though. Like I did Front Row already once this year. I just did Amazing Comic-Con like a month ago, which was probably the best convention I've ever done, which was great. And then 2 more conventions this year lined up, and maybe one more that I've applied to. And but another thing is I'm running out of comics, like the Elf with No Name 1 and 2. Depending how this Kickstarter goes, I might not have any copies at the conventions. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna have to get.
We recently dealt with a situation like that ourselves.
Yeah. So like it would be. I wish I could move the convention another month or something, but whatever. I'll have Magic Powder 1 through 6. I'll have the Public Defender. I'll have some. Maybe I will have extra copies of Elf with No Name. I don't know yet, but
tell me a little bit about the Public Defender.
Okay, so the Public Defender is a guy who got bit by a radioactive lawyer, and he got a bunch of powers. I always got to wait for the laugh. But yeah, so that it's just a superhero satire. It's kind of based on American Splendor meets The Tick, I like to say, because like Harvey Pekar is like a huge inspiration on my comic writing, and his whole comics were about just his life. So Public Defender is a lot of like autobiographical, and then mixed with like just comic shit, like Batman is a fucking landlord essentially, you know what I mean? Like he's just a piece of shit rich guy, you know what I mean? That's just going around, dressed like a cop. Like fuck, that's another thing. Like to the Public Defender and myself, all superheroes are cops, you know what I mean? So mind your fucking business, whatever. But then just because you dress up, you're not a cop. Like get the fuck out of my face. So anyway, people hate hearing about that at conventions, by the way. Anyway, and then they want me to like explain it. I'm like, it's pretty self-explanatory what I'm saying to you. So keep reading that propaganda, I guess. But anyway,
more counterculture than capes. That's
yeah, bro. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about superheroes. That's the thing. Like people are like, oh, did you see Superman? Like, do you think I fucking seen Superman? Like, do you know me at all? But no, I did not see Superman. So yeah, I don't know. Even James Gunn, like, bro, he's just a guy doing propaganda for billionaires. It's not art. None of that shit's art. Get out of my face. So anyway, I don't know how I got on that tangent, but yeah, fuck superheroes. Public Defender's dope. That's what's up. Oh yeah, that's why, because the Public Defender is not a superhero. So like people in the comics will hit him up like to save them and stuff. He's like, bro, I'm not a superhero just because I have like, because his skin is the superhero costume, because that's the side effect of being bit by the lawyer. So yeah, he just looks like a superhero. So people like think he's a superhero. So he's just dealing with that all the time, which I guess is kind of the same thing as writing comics that aren't superhero comics. And people expect you to write superhero comics. So I guess that's part of my life.
We deal with this because we don't do superhero comics. I grew up. I did grow up loving the Cape stories.
Yeah, we all did. We were little kids. Yeah,
but it's nothing I'm interested in writing. I'm not even interested in in like.
I'll sell my soul. If they want to pay me, I'll do it. But I'm not. I don't have ideas. I'm not like sitting here like, oh, I have 20 different Batman ideas, and I have the Blue Beetle ideas and Green Lantern ideas. Like, nah, bro. Like, no, I don't. I have regular ass original ideas. I'm not a fucking fan fiction writer. So that's another thing. It's not only is it cop shit, it's fucking fan fiction cop shit. So whatever, man.
Well,
and it's you guys are paying for that shit. Oh my god, it blows my mind, bro. Buy our shit. Buy indie comics. Like, goddamn.
Oh, yeah.
So this has been sort of an issue at some cons. Though not lately, thank goodness, but earlier when we started, and then we did the Blood and Ink. It was a tattoo and horror con, and found our people. They weren't people. We had a lot of people walking up to us at cons saying, like, "Well, do you have any superhero stories?" And we're like, we do not. We do sci-fi, fantasy, horror, gore, fucked up shit. And they're like, right, but does anyone wear a cape? Well, no, nobody.
Like, is that like a fetish thing? Because I know a lot of people be buying Kickstarter things because they're into fetish things on that. So it's all super. Like, is that another fetish thing? Like getting that spandex, dog. Like, put that cape on. It's like a pull on your cape, like a girl with ponytail or something.
Why aren't you wearing your underwear on the outside?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a weird fetish I think people have developed, but at least that's why Public Defender kind of exists, because like when they do come up and they want a comic book that sounds like a comic book, I guess that one does. But
so we went to this tattoo con, and since then we've gone to punk rock flea market and we found our people that people love comics everywhere, but they're not all looking for superheroes. They're looking for counterculture shit. And that's why we advertise our stuff as Premium Underground. We're more in the lens of Heavy Metal Magazine. And that's one of the things I've loved about what you're putting out, is that this is all original stuff. I mean, to see a Western, I grew up on Westerns, absolutely love them. To see a fantasy Western is so cool. By the way, Luke Henderson, a fellow superhero hater.
Yeah, I've seen that.
You got a fan right there.
That's what I was
Luke,
throwing up
remember to
that
put
thumbs up,
the
bro.
link for the flight list in the chat. Christian does erotic psychological superheroes.
That'll sell big on Kickstarter. So
I've been doing Claudio and I have been doing a comic about a rejected X-Men called Mother Freud. She psychoanalyzes the villains.
That's hilarious. Yeah, see, like that's like a public defender character. You know what I mean? Like
what
the
she
most
does
outrageous character. Yeah.
She actually sucks them back inside of herself into her womb.
Oh,
they go back to baby state, and she re-terminates them with their mother issues solved.
Yeah, you got to get Tony Soprano into one of those like panels. Because like, yeah, that's perfect. That's hilarious.
Tell me a little bit about this cover. I think this is such a badass cover.
Okay, so the Outlaw Josie Wales is probably the one that my dad like introduced me to first, or at least it was the one that I feel like he loved the most and stuff like that. So like, yeah, that's like cover of Outlaw Josie Wales right there. And then Samuel Owunzi out of Nigeria, my man who did all the A covers for Magic Powder 1 through 6. He did this cover because I wanted, when I did the Alpha No Name and it's a Magic Powder spinoff, I wanted, you know, the connection to be Sam at that point when we crossed over. And then, you know, we've had different artists since, but yeah, Sam was the first one, and like, yeah, he nailed it. And it's like, you know, the elf in the name, he's a dark elf, but he's a little darker on the cover because in the issue, he's like walking out in the sun, getting like a suntan. So he's a dark elf that's been sunburnt essentially in this, you know, that's why he's so. And then he's blowing the dust out of it. And then the guns, like he hasn't shot anyone with any guns yet, but he does pick up people's guns after they die and stuff like that. So, you know, it's not exactly like a canon picture or anything like that. Although I guess if you think about it, it could have worked out that way. But he didn't pop off those guns on nobody or anything like that. Well, you read the first issue, you decide if he did. I guess it's a little bit of an ethical decision. I guess.
Did Han shoot first?
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's definitely, well, like you said, like the whole like controlling their mind thing. Well, like he just controlled their hands and made them shoot themselves. So I guess really he did shoot them.
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah. Okay, these are beautiful covers. Tell me, who's the artist doing the interiors, by the way?
Jeff Fulsham. So I found him. He was doing these things called the Osrand Tales, and one's like a fantasy, kind of like a D&D like tale. And then he also had like a fantasy Western. So he was looking for commissions on Twitter, and I seen he had a fantasy Western, so I knew he could do a fantasy Western. And so, you know, I hit him up, and then, you know, we've been working together, I don't know, it's like 2 or 3 years now, and it's going good. He did some Public Defender. He did the back cover of everybody that's just like giving the finger. Like, cause like the back cover was like, everyone could like be a cameo on the back cover. So there's like 40 people and the Public Defender giving the finger on the back cover. So Jeff did the art for that. He did the origin story art. He did another one. So, but yeah, mostly he does Elf No Name now. And like I said, he has his own thing called the Osrand Tales. And he's just, you know, he's out of Connecticut. He's like the only American artist I really work with. But yeah, he's cool, a little younger than me, and he also has the name Jeff, so it's easy to work with that, you know.
I love the perspective on this shot. This page is very, very cool.
It's funny because like the way I think of the Elf with No Name, especially like if you read the second issue and stuff like that, it's kind of like a video game, you know, because like Magic Powder, it's an ensemble. It's more of like if I was thinking of a TV show, something like that. But this, I think of like it's you're the main character. What's he gonna do? That's that kind of thing. So like this is like a almost like a top-down view. Like this scene, it has like a couple of views where it's like a video game view, I feel like. And also when he enters like Dwarfwood, because like a lot of the times, like I'll do the storyboards, then I write the script as I'm doing the storyboards. Yeah, because that's like how American Splendor and like when Harvey Pekar would do it, he would just draw stick figures and storyboard it himself. So that's how I write every comic that way. And so, some artists, they don't want the storyboards, they just want the script. And then some artists want both. And so Jeff takes both. And like a lot of times, like he'll add his own things and stuff like that. But this is how I pictured it and stuff like that. And then but there's certain ones like right here at the bottom where you see the guys running out, like the dwarves and stuff like that was on him. I don't think I came up with that. I'm pretty sure that was his idea. And then the sound effects, like originally I looked at this page and I'm like, I feel like it needs some more. And so we added like the card flipping and the gulps and stuff like that. Because I felt a little quiet. And like it's a Western, so it's supposed to be quiet, but it's supposed to be quiet enough that you hear the pin drop. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So yeah, that's all. But yeah, so he's just a great artist, and you know, we're doing issue 4. We're working on it right now. Hopefully, we'll fund and all that and make it happen. Yeah, like right here, this dwarf getting shot up and everything. Yeah, it's all just gives me those. It was like you know, because like I said, Shadowrun's a big inspiration, the video game, and like in the SNES days, a lot of those games were, you know, isometric views and top-down views and stuff like that. So a lot of the way I look at action scenes in this is like that. You know what I mean? Like if you ever played the original Fallout, stuff like that. That's another like kind of Western to me too, like those wasteland Westerns, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like, man, another big, because like another thing about like this is fantasy, so I can do whatever I want with the world. It doesn't have to be American Old West, you know what I mean? So there will be things that are definitely different. Like I don't want it to be cowboys and Indians like everybody else do. And like, so when you see the new fairies and stuff, like, because there haven't been a fairy on panel in Magic Powder or the Elf with No Name yet, but in Elf with No Name 4 and Magic Powder 7, you'll see fairies in 2 different ways. So that'll be fun to show everybody. Like dragons, like this is the first time you'll see a dragon in Elf with No Name, like this issue. And then Elf with No Name, or I mean, Magic Powder issue 6 was the first time a dragon was ever shown, even though they've been mentioned, you know? So it's like fun, like introducing them as they go. Like we're going to have a gargoyle coming and stuff like that. Like it'll be good.
Guys, you heard him say, if it funds, and that's disgusting.
Yeah, well, you know,
there's no if here. Go and support it. Kickstarter
yeah,
right now. Well, maybe not right now, but soon. Jump on. Just keep this window open too. No, jump on Kickstarter and get it. You got this is such a treat, guys. Don't you got to get it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it because, you know, it is a pain in the ass, like doing it all. But man, when you get it together, when someone sends you that new page, or when you get a new backer, when you know, pack the comic and you send it, like all that stuff is so cool. Like it's, you know, because like I said, I've been, you know, trying to write stories or screenplays or whatever else my whole life, and now people actually want what I'm writing. So it's like, it's nice, even if it is only a couple hundred people, whatever. Like it used to be nobody, so I'll take it. You know what I mean?
It's so exciting to have that happen. And
No doubt.
this series, the Magic Powder World, is truly worth it. Claudio said, love the coloring in the comic.
Yeah, and, shout out to Ezekiel. He's the first timer on this one, and he's making it pop, man. I love his work.
All right, wow, that's impressive.
We got a Mother Freud fan, Kevin Lintz, master of visual sound. I was actually thinking of Kevin when you were talking about adding the sound effects. Kevin is just absolutely terrific with sound effects. He did our story about Nazi werewolves in volume 4 of Containment Breach, which we put him through looking at some terrible things, because the problem is that, you know, when they transform, they're naked. So I think Kevin had to deal with more dongs than he expected to, but he did a fantastic job with the sound effects.
Well, you and James were involved, so he was probably prepared.
He knew what he was getting into. Yeah.
Awesome. So all right, so now tell me about the tiers. Now you've got all this. You got Magic Powder 1 through 6 or 5? Which is it, 5 or 6?
Right now you can get all 6, which is the first arc. You can get the Public Defender. That's an add-on. Okay, so but yeah, let me go through the tier. Sorry, it cut out for a second on me.
Right.
So basically the main tier is just, you know, issue 3, because most people I assume already have the first 2. But it says the featured tier right now is catch up with issues 1 through 3, just the Elf with No Name. If you scroll down, you can catch up with all of Magic Powder, which is 1 through 6, plus all 3 Elf with No Name. So you get the whole first arc, and you'll be caught up with the Elf with No Name. And then with add-ons, you could get the Public Defender, so you'll have every comic I've ever written. And you can get the sketch cover, which is the first time we're ever doing that. It's only available as an add-on because I didn't think it needed its own reward tier, really. I didn't want it to like battle the other variant covers.
Okay.
But if, you know, and it's more of a like thing too. I feel like, you know, at conventions, I don't have those kinds of things, but I think people want them at conventions. So I'm not even sure if people want them on Kickstarter. So I'm just trying it out, you know. And then you have the be a character tiers, which is like the main big money tiers. So one's 120, and the other one, and it's like your background character. So you'll show up as, you know, depends like what you kind of want, like, and I'll work you into like. So a lot of the characters so far have been dwarves, but there's been goblins and gorgons and everything like that. So you can be one of those as well, an elf, whatever. And then there's be a speaking character like my man right here. So he you know, he saves everybody in the second issue basically by telling the elf that there's a mine has been you know, caved in, and then he goes and saves them or whatever. So like, you know, he'll also show up in this issue and stuff like that. Usually if you buy a being a speaking character, I'll bring you back. You know what I mean? Like, you're not just gonna speak once. Like, I'll probably put you into the story in that way, so you know, you get your money's worth and stuff like that. Cameo characters, even then I try to, like, you know, make something happen. But if you buy a be a speaking character, I feel like you want to get killed in my comic book, so eventually I try to work that in, you know what I mean? Because like, that's a big thing with Magic Powder. It's like we have the rest in peace page and everything like that, so you know it's going to be violent. But with this, it's a little different because Elf with No Name is a different style and stuff, so you might not die. But yeah, you'll definitely be a big part of the fun. So yeah, because like, if people, like, if you bought a speaking character in Magic Powder, you might not be in the second arc. Let's put it that way right now. Like, a lot of people didn't make it to the second arc. But like I said, I think that's what they want to see, like what happened to their character, show their friend what happened, that kind of shit. So I don't know, but we'll see. I don't know. I haven't, you know, the reactions are varied. Some people don't even let me know.
We've had huge success with the cameo in a comic, and people do mostly want to be killed. Because how freaking awesome is that? We've got the Claudio, so let's do a crossover. The Elf with No Name meets Mother Freud.
There you go. There you go. That's funny, man. Like, that's the one thing about Public Defender that was cool. I got to do my first like indie comic crossover because you know, I had Adrian Koleric, who does Trakovi. He did like 4 of the single issue or single page comics, and he worked Trakovi actually into one of my comics, like on like a text kind of thing. And then on the back cover, we had like a few creators had their characters on the back cover hanging out, you know, throwing the finger up with Public Defenders. So like Pistol Shrimp and stuff like that. So it was cool because like, I like, you know, crossovers is one of the funnest things about comic books. So like, now I have a character that can do crossovers. So I feel like Magic Powder and the Elf with No Name, like, they don't really fit in other worlds. Like I said, like, you know, it's not Earth, it's not humans. So it's like, you know, how does that work? You know, so because even like, I was talking to my buddy Steve, who does a Box Boy and Whiskers, and he does the Math Magician and stuff like that. Parashift. But he had like a dope Box Boy and Whiskers one where Box Boy is like dressed up as like a Vegas Golden Knight hockey player, like doing a slap shot, and like it would sell like a big amount of prints at conventions and stuff. And he's like, yeah, you should do something like that. But I'm like, you know, Magic Powder, there is no Golden Knights, you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't really work. And he's like, you know, but you got them playing guitars and skateboard and shit. I'm like, but they're not playing Pearl Jam, you know what I mean? Like, it's like they're, you know, it doesn't work. Like, so like, I guess I could do it, you know what I mean? Just like, it's to sell some stuff, whatever. But so far I haven't compromised the way it works so far. But I've thought about it, I guess, because like, I've been like, what if I make my like the skateboarding Goblin Breaker, like just have like Nick's stuff on and stuff like that. And I thought about that even before I ever even seen what he was doing, you know what I mean? Like, just kind of like getting Knicks fans into my comic in that way, like on social media, that kind of thing. But I just, you know, I'm not a good enough artist, and I'm not trying to really pay for extra art, so it's like I never really followed through on it.
I wonder what kind of pull that would really have, though. What's the Venn diagram between Knicks fans and?
It's not impressive, bro, because when I do these front row card shows and stuff, like I'll wear certain gear and stuff like that, and you'll see fans come by and you'll be like, oh, dope shirt, and they'll talk to you for a second. They don't even ask you what the fucking comic is you're selling, or you'll tell about it and they'll just leave and stuff. Like, it's crazy. Like, you would think there'd be some kind of like brotherhood or something like that, but nah, man. Nah, not really.
We've got 14 days left on this Kickstarter, and it's awesome. I'm a fan. Mark's a fan. Jeff's writing is absolutely terrific. It is original. It is wild. It has all the right references. I mean, I'm Gen X, and you are speaking all my language of references. This is everything that Outlaw Josie Wales, one of my favorite movies of all time. You've got great influences, and you've got really original things that you've done with them. I think it's so cool that Magic Powder is connected in this way with the Elf with No Name. Folks, you want to get on this right now, go to the Kickstarter. I'm going to put it one more time in the chat. Go to the Kickstarter and back. There are a million ways to back. Honestly, if you don't know this, if this is new to you, get the Magic Powder pack, get the Elf with No Name pack, and you're going to have, what is that? That's 9 issues of fun ahead of you. And then throw in the Public Defender.
Then you got the whole 10.
Then you got all 10, because why the fuck not? But if you can get, I mean, can imagine getting to sit down, read all the magic powders, and then read. Most people don't have this much product out there. They don't have this much story out there. You're getting so much with this. Jeff is a tremendous writer. He's working with great artists, and this is truly a worthwhile series. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
No, thank you guys for having me, man, and just like
keep it up,
it up.
man. Keep it up.
It's just cool to even hear that kind of stuff. Like, you know, like even like you said, like having 10 issues, like, yeah, it is cool. Like you said, even just funding these Kickstarters, everything. Like, you know, I know a lot of people try it and they give up, or, you know, they try it and then they got to figure out another way or whatever. But man, like I've been very lucky so far. And like you guys said, I guess maybe it's good, whatever, but it definitely feels like it's good when it keeps going well. So that's all, you know, I feel, you know, so thanks everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fugitive Poem Show. The art will not be changing. I'm Christian DeMatteo. That's been Mark Capitelli. I don't know where he is. There he is. This is Jeff Schiller, who is our amazing guest. Folks, go to fugitivepoems.com. Get Dirty Living, 3 issues for $3, as Mark pointed out. 3 issues, and I'm talking the issue 2 is 26 pages. 3 issues for $3. And it is wild. You have no idea what's coming. It is bloody. It is gory. It is so darkly funny. I mean, just wrong. Off-color humor. The art.
You are going to chuckle.
Yeah. Oh, you are. The art by Ryan Santos is spectacular. The writing by Stephen Betcha is amazing. We've got Keith Gleason on letters, who at Reckless Gleason. He does the Mighty Mascot Show. Really, we are so proud to be producing this series. Horror Geek Mel, you're so right, Christian, and that's talking about Jeff and his incredible talent and work. Absolutely. Folks, subscribe to our channel. If you haven't been on before, subscribe now. Hit that like button. Share this with your friends. Let's get Jeff's work out there. This is a great interview, Jeff.
There should be no ifs, folks. No ifs.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
You heard him. You heard him.
Jeff made this a great conversation. So this is a damn good watch. So share it with your friends and get them to back the Kickstarter as well. I'm Christian DeMatteo. We are Fugitive Poems, making premium underground.